At last, all the major flagship smartphones of the year are here. Every brand has revealed its strongest technologies, signature features, and years of research and development. With component costs continuing to climb, this could very well be the final generation where flagship phones go all out without major compromises for the next few years. So, let's set the stage. In this video, we're diving into the latest Ultra, Pro Max, and other premium flagship devices from Huawei, Xiaomi, OPPO, Vivo, and Apple to see exactly what they bring to the table.
A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Mikey from Tech Mikey. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out our exciting tech content.
At first glance, the two Pro Max models and the three Ultra models look surprisingly similar. Huawei stands out the most in terms of identity. That distinctive triangular camera design and unique color scheme make it instantly recognizable. You don't even need to say anything. Just pulling it out of your pocket feels special. Meanwhile, Xiaomi, OPPO, and Vivo have all embraced the trend of large circular camera modules that can appear a bit bulky. OPPO has returned to a slimmer design philosophy. Xiaomi has managed to reduce overall thickness, while Vivo ends up being the thickest device in this comparison. Some people might argue that OPPO is actually thicker, and that's true if we're only talking about the phone body itself, but I'm referring to the overall camera section. I measured the Vivo X300 Ultra, and it reaches 16.6 millimeters at its thickest point, making it feel like one complete unit. Apple takes the most restrained approach. Even the camera module transitions smoothly into the body with a sloped design. Combined with its rectangular camera layout, it sits flatter on a table than the others. Huawei's Pro model also performs reasonably well in this regard, although its large triangular camera island is impossible to ignore. As for the three Ultra models, my advice is simple. Pick them up and hold them. The camera bump actually gives your fingers a place to rest, making them less tiring to use than they appear. When it comes to overall hand feel, I still personally think the iPhone does the best job, with Huawei's Pro model also offering a comfortable experience. I understand why these supersized flagships focus heavily on camera systems and premium hardware. Those components need physical space, which naturally leads to thicker devices. But at the end of the day, these are still phones. Most people use them for everyday tasks far more often than photography. Shouldn't comfort and usability be considered just as much as camera hardware? Fortunately, mobile camera technology is getting closer to its limits. In the near future, domestic manufacturers may shift their focus away from endlessly stacking camera hardware. We'll have to wait and see. Looking at the displays, all three of the largest models feature 6.9-inch screens, making them genuinely massive devices. OPPO and Vivo are slightly smaller overall, though their displays are also marginally smaller. For display quality, Apple uses Samsung's M14 panel, which delivers the most transparent and clean-looking image. Xiaomi, OPPO, and Vivo all rely on domestic display suppliers. Huawei hasn't officially disclosed its screen supplier, but based on real-world performance, it looks quite impressive as well. Viewed individually, every display here looks excellent. The differences only become noticeable when you place them side by side and compare them directly. Compared with their respective Pro models, these larger flagship versions focus heavily on camera performance. For everyday users, there's something to show off. For enthusiasts and creators, they can become serious production tools. Every manufacturer approaches imaging differently. Vivo pushes hard with its dual 200-megapixel setup. OPPO emphasizes its dual telephoto lens system. Huawei takes a more balanced route with a 200-megapixel telephoto paired with RYYB technology. Xiaomi's continuous 75mm to 100mm zoom range offers exceptional flexibility, allowing a single lens to cover multiple shooting scenarios. Huawei's Pura 90 Pro Max also showcases versatility through its dual front-facing cameras, although the previous 90mm lens is no longer present. Personally, I still prefer the earlier configuration. This isn't a nostalgia session, though. The reality is that the imaging capabilities of today's supersized flagships are already beyond what most people need. The key isn't finding the most powerful camera, it's choosing the one that best fits your usage. To make things easier, here's a quick summary. Apple still delivers its signature dynamic camera experience, a mature live ecosystem, and some of the most reliable video recording performance. However, I think it's time to stop overhyping Apple's so-called true-to-life color reproduction. The other manufacturers have made major progress, especially those using dedicated color calibration systems. Huawei stands out in particular. Photos captured with the Pro model show highly accurate color recognition, and among all 5 devices, it has the lowest chance of misrepresenting difficult shades like deep reds. The Pro Max, thanks to its upgraded hardware and new 200-megapixel telephoto lens, introduces a range of features that help ordinary users produce impressive photos with minimal effort. Vivo continues to dominate concert photography while making significant improvements to video recording. OPPO's strengths remain its powerful 10x telephoto capabilities and live mode. Xiaomi's Leica color science remains an excellent choice for street photography enthusiasts. Now let's look at a few common photographic scenarios. For portrait photography, my top recommendations are Huawei, OPPO, and Vivo. Huawei produces highly accurate skin tones while maintaining balanced overall colors. OPPO preserves facial details and lighting exceptionally well, giving portraits a premium and professional appearance. Vivo focuses on natural beauty enhancement, creating that effortless, no-makeup look. For concert photography, I'd choose either Huawei or Vivo. If you're seated far back in the stands, Vivo's zoom performance becomes especially valuable. If you're closer to the stage, Huawei remains a strong option. For front row shooting, Vivo alone is already more than capable. For live photo and motion photography, Apple and OPPO are the clear choices. OPPO's implementation comes closest to Apple's, offering comparable performance while also providing additional features. Performance is another area where the 2 Pro Maxes and 3 Ultras separate themselves. Apple's A19 Pro remains incredibly powerful. Huawei's Kirin 9030S stands out because of its unique characteristics. Meanwhile, Xiaomi, OPPO, and Vivo are much more similar to one another, sharing comparable chipsets and memory configurations that result in a fairly consistent experience across the board.
When it comes to gaming, the 3 Android flagships paired with their performance-focused gaming optimizations can handle games like Honor of Kings for over half an hour without any major issues. Xiaomi is the exception here. For longer gaming sessions, though, I'd still recommend using a dedicated gaming device. If gaming is your main priority, these Ultra models are actually not as impressive as the gaming-oriented flagships from their own sub-brands. That said, most people buying these premium devices probably aren't choosing them primarily for gaming. Apple faces its own challenge with heat management. During extended gaming sessions, the device still gets quite warm despite its premium price tag. Huawei's Pura handles popular titles like Honor of Kings and Genshin Impact smoothly enough, but considering the overall package, using it mainly for gaming feels like overkill. Huawei's performance definitely needs another step forward with the next-generation Kirin 9050. Of course, most users looking at processor performance are really asking one simple question: will the phone stay smooth in daily use? To find out, we tested continuous opening of 20 different applications. OPPO finished first with a time of 1 minute and 5 seconds. The other Android competitors landed between 1 minute 10 seconds and 1 minute 20 seconds. Surprisingly, Apple finished last at 1 minute 37 seconds, largely because of the number of ads encountered during the test. Even though some of these chips aren't the most powerful on paper, the combination of custom hardware, software optimization, and system integration still delivers a very smooth everyday experience. Battery life tells another interesting story. Among these 5 flagship models, OPPO packs the largest battery at 7,050 mAh, while Apple's battery capacity is the smallest, sitting at roughly 70% of OPPO's size. In our 5-hour battery endurance test, OPPO came out on top with 75% battery remaining. Huawei, Xiaomi, and Vivo all ended up around 70%, while Apple finished last with 55% remaining. However, when we switched to a continuous TikTok scrolling test until the phones powered off, the rankings changed dramatically.
Xiaomi made a strong comeback, while OPPO and Vivo, which had performed so well earlier, began to struggle. Temperature performance also revealed some interesting results. Apple, Huawei, Xiaomi, and OPPO maintained excellent thermal control throughout most of the testing process. Their frames became warm but never uncomfortable. OPPO and Vivo performed very well during the first half of testing, but temperatures rose significantly later on, indicating higher power consumption under sustained workloads. During long-term use involving a single application, OPPO and Vivo ultimately fell behind the other three devices. An interesting detail is that the top-performing models all rely on their own custom operating systems, while the latter two are built upon Android. This shows that battery life isn't just about battery size. Software optimization plays an equally important role. So, after looking at everything, let's wrap things up. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is undoubtedly one of the most popular smartphones this year, and probably the most frequently compared device in the flagship category. The fact that it constantly appears in comparisons says a lot about its overall strength. If you're already comfortable with iOS and care about reliable performance, live photos, and video recording, it's still one of the safest choices available. However, if your priorities include concert photography, stronger signal reception, better durability, or longer battery life, there are compelling alternatives worth considering. Take the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, for example. Many people are drawn to the Leica branding, while the standard version may seem ordinary at first glance. But when you look deeper, features like its ultra-fast camera response and floating telephoto system improve the user experience through smart engineering rather than simply stacking more hardware. Overall, it's one of the most balanced phones in this lineup. The second-hand market price is surprisingly low, making it an excellent value. My only wish is that Xiaomi launches an upgraded Flame Plus kit as soon as possible. Moving on to the Vivo X300 Ultra, it continues to dominate in concert photography and portrait shooting. The addition of a dedicated color reproduction lens and full-range log recording further strengthens its imaging capabilities. The downside is slightly weaker battery life and the camera module that sticks out quite a lot. If that bothers you, I'd strongly recommend looking at the X300 Pro instead. It's more affordable, offers a very balanced package, and while the camera isn't quite as extreme as the Ultra, it's still remarkably close in real-world use. Then we have the Huawei Pura 90 Pro Max. People often joke that it's half a step below an Ultra model, but it's worth remembering that the Pura 90 series launched in April of this year, which signals that Huawei is firmly back on track. Looking at the product itself, the signature colors and imaging experience remain the defining traits of the Pura lineup. The exclusive combination of RYYB technology and Huawei's imaging system continues to set it apart. The chip may not be the strongest in the group, but Huawei's software optimization helps compensate for that weakness. As long as you're comfortable with Harmony OS 6.1, this device remains an impressive imaging-focused powerhouse. Finally, there's the OPPO Find X9 Ultra. Its biggest strengths are undoubtedly the 10x telephoto lens and live photo capabilities. For users who understand photography and enjoy adjusting camera settings, it can produce stunning images with a rich, textured look that has become incredibly popular online. It's also the only phone among these five to offer vegan leather as a standard finish. ColorOS remains visually appealing and instantly recognizable. That said, the default camera output still feels somewhat average, and the camera system isn't as lightweight or refined as it could be. There's definitely room for further optimization. After considering all aspects, one thing becomes very clear. Hardware is still important, but software experience and system optimization are becoming even more critical. In some cases, manufacturers can actually use software improvements to compensate for hardware limitations and deliver a better overall experience. So, now it's your turn. Out of these 5 flagship smartphones, which one would you choose? Let me know down in the comments section. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.